Om 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 Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamasto Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. बोलिए श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय. ओम समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं. ओम श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः. ओम सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. ओम. I do not know if I am audible. Am I audible? Is there anybody online who can tell me? Because I've been deleting many videos because I'm not audible. Paramatma Dvayanandaha Sarvabhutastitopiha. Very good. Ajnanenavruto drishtaha tathaiva cha manomalaihi. Paramatma is one, but Paramatma is one. That one feeling, one quality that is present everywhere is Paramatma. Sarva Bhuta Sthitaha. He is present, it is present everywhere. That feeling, that consciousness and awareness is present everywhere. Sarva Bhuta Sthitopiha. Indeed, but it is covered by Ajnana. Ajnana means I don't know that. I don't experience that. I don't, when we say bliss, no? When we say anger, we experience anger. When we say hatred, we experience hatred. When we say jealousy, we experience jealousy. When we say fear, we really experience it. Even in our body also we can experience fear. But when we say Paramatma, that one, we cannot experience it. We don't know means we are not able to experience it. That's what it means. So Paramatma, Advaya Ananda, the joy of Advaya, that one joy of oneness, we are not able to experience because it is hidden. And what is also hidden? Manomalaihi. Our impurities of mind are also hidden from us. So the whole Manah Sodhanam talks to us about what are all the ways by which we can purify the mind. And yesterday, actually, I did the recording, but it did not come through. The sound was not audible. So I have deleted it. Today, again, I did another recording. The sound was not audible. I deleted that also. And I've come for the third attempt of the same text, the same portion. So what did we see the previous day before yesterday? We saw the 14th verse. Tasmat ajnanameva atra. Ajnanam alone. Ignorance means lack of awareness of this Paramatma. Sarvada dukkha karanam. At all times, in all places, at all times, it is a cause for sorrow. Dukkha karanam. Tat Swarupam hi jnatavyam. I need to know about this ajnana. Meaning, I don't need to know about ignorance. I need to know about what am I ignorant about. What is it that I am ignorant about? Tat Swarupam hi jnatavyam. I need to know that. How can I know? Vicharena. We cannot know by feeling. The sense organs, the five sense organs are not capable of showing us that experience of Paramatma. Vicharena. I can know only by contemplation. Vicharena. Adhuna. When should I know? I should know now. By whom it should be known? By me it should be known. Adhuna Maya. So from here, this flow chart begins. The next three verses show the flow chart for samsara, meaning how we are trapped in modification, change, and repetition. In this 15th verse, Satya buddhir yada drishye swatmano bhinnata tatha sukha buddhistada tasmin dukkha buddhirhi va bhavet. Whatever we see, meaning not physically with our eyes and not experiencing physically with our sense organs, that is also there. That is also drishyam. But what is actually the drishyam that we are referring to here is our thoughts, our emotions, our feelings, our attitudes, our beliefs, everything that's going on inside us that is causing all the inner turmoil. What do? We give Satya Buddhi. We say, yes, it is there. And then what do we say? It is there. I am there. It is there. I am there and it is different from me. Bhinna Buddhi. I separate myself from that. I don't identify with that. I don't integrate that into me. I don't experience it as one. So in sleep, what is this integration all about? In sleep, everything is in an integrated state. In deep sleep, the body is there, the mind is there, the intellect is there, the breath is there, but it is a negative state of integration where we are not aware of anything. So that everything is one only in the state of sleep. In the same way, but not in the same way. Here, when I see, I give reality to objects, means that object is reality, means I give permanence. Like you give reality to a person means somebody says something to you and you don't like that. Giving reality to that means constantly thinking about it, thinking that's the end of the world for me, and without that I cannot survive, without this person I cannot survive, is giving reality to that. So we give reality to what we experience, what we think, and what we see, hear, taste, smell, and touch, what we feel. We give reality, Satya Buddhi. And then what do we say? I am different, and that is different. I am different. This feeling of anger is different. This feeling of anger should not come to me because it is not me. I don't like this feeling of anger. It should not come to me. It has come to me, yet I can't help it. But I say I am different, that is different. Bhinna buddhi. So we are resisting it. We are pushing it away from us. Bhinna buddhi. Then sukha buddhi. It either sukha buddhi tasmin dukkha buddhirhi va bhavet. So in that feeling, in that emotion, in that thought, I say it gives me joy, it gives me sorrow. This feeling gives me joy, this feeling gives me sorrow. Satya buddhihi yada drishya. As I mentioned in the previous day, I had quote from the Patanjali Yoga Sutra. What is drishyam? Drishyam is prakasha. There is a definition for drishyam. The drashta also there is a definition, but we will see what is the drishyam. Drashta is I, the one who is seeing, hearing, tasting, smelling, touching. That person, the mind is I, drashta. What is the drishyam? It has got sattva guna, it has got rajoguna, it has got tamoguna. Prakasha means it is evident. When I look at this torchlight, when I look at this lamp is evident by its presence. It is showing itself. Whether it is on or whether it is off, this lamp is showing its presence, which means the lamp is expressing itself. It is sattva guna, sattva. Then you have rajas. Rajas is, it is moving, the object is moving, the object is in motion, it is not inert, it is moving. Then you have tamas. Tamas is, the object is what to say, the object is inert. So these three qualities are there for every drishya vastu. Drishya vastu, it begins from our thoughts to our sense organs perceptions to the objects of the outer world. Everything is drishyam. Whatever we see in this, see, hear, taste, smell, touch, think, feel, emote, what we speak, everything is drishya. It is not the drashta, it is not the seer. Satya buddhi yada drishye swatmano bhinnata tatha. I am different, that is different. There is no integrity, there is no feeling of oneness. Then you have, it gives me joy, it gives me sorrow. Here is the dangerous part, because when something gives you joy, you like it. When something gives you sorrow, you detest it. You don't want it. It gives you the creeps. Yeah, it irritates you. You don't want to have anything to do with that. Dukkha buddhirhi va bhavet. So I attach this thought of sukha, I attach this thought of dukkha in those objects. Then the next verse, what happens because of this? If I say that this is real and this is different from me and it gives me joy, or see, this different from me is very interesting. Somebody stamps your leg by mistake. That person is your very dear friend, or somebody hits you, by mistake. They just push, they hit, or they stamp your feet or something. If it is somebody very dear to you, you'll say chalta hai. You will just say, hey, no problem. Okay, oh, that's fine, we say. But if somebody who you don't know, by mistake also they do it, you get very, suppose you're going in a public bus, and when somebody really stamps your foot, it is painful, but you will get irritated with that, because that person doesn't belong to you. So when we discount somebody from our life, then it is very difficult, because they will give us more sorrow than joy. But if they do something happy for you, then maybe you'll just tolerate it. But if they do something sorrowful, you will lose a lot of energy thinking about it and worrying, getting angry about it. So because of these three qualities these three ideas that we superimpose on the drishya means whatever has got three qualities, whatever has got five sense organs, whatever has got five elements, earth, water, fire, air, and space, and whatever gives me bhoga, gives me some sensation, and then it also disappears and gives me moksha, which gives me liberation, which means it gives me the knowledge and their understanding. Liberation means we do not get liberated, but the object moves away from me. Satya buddhihi yada drishye. The liberation means the object moves away from my vision, from my experience. The object is no more. That's what liberation is all about in this context. So now, what is the 16th verse saying? Because of this, what is our problem? Ragadveshau prajayete tada chitte vrthaivahi tabhyam hyaham pravarteva nivarte lokavastuni. Raga dvesha. Because of this, what do I get? I get raga. Raga means I get attachment. Dvesha means I withdraw. I feel hatred. Prajayete. These two activities spring in our mind. Raga means going towards it. Dvesha means withdrawing from it. Raga dveshau prajayete tada. In that moment. Which moment? When we identify ourselves with these three beliefs about any object that we encounter, any thought, emotion, feeling, or any sense objects. Like, the three things are, it is satya buddhi, it is real, meaning it is permanent. Then sukha buddhi, dukkha buddhi, and then it is different from me. It is not me, it is not I, it doesn't belong to me also. So ragadveshau prajayete tada chitte vrtha eva. Vrtha means wastefully. What happens? Because of this erroneous belief, I get attachment. I get raga. I want to be with somebody or something. I want some object to be with me, some situation to be with me, or some person to be with me, or I want to be with some person, some object or some situation because I like it. Raga. Dvesha is I want to be away from some object, away from some person, or away from situation, away from some thought, away from some experience. We generate a lot of conflicting energy inside us when we are going on being away. Ragadveshau prajayete, prakarshena jayate. It is springing up. Tada chitte, tada means when I identify with these three earlier mentioned points. Vritha eva hi. Vritha eva means wasteful. There's no need for this attachment and hatred. It involves a lot of wastage of energy. When you go behind something, that object will recede from you. You'll not be able to get it, so you will be frustrated. When you go away from something, that object will come faster to you, and even then you will be frustrated. So what remains is frustration only. What remains is frustration all the time. Ragadveshau prajayete chitte vritha eva. Vritha means no use, wastefully. Eva hi tabhyam hi aham. Because of this raga and dvesha, I am pravartanam. I am moving forward something. Or nivartanam, moving away from something. Nivarte loka vastuni. In the world of objects, objects means not necessarily outside only. Outside also is there. If I like a chocolate, I go behind the chocolate. I want it. Pravarteva nivarte loka vastuni. Then what happens? Verse 17. Labhe sukhi tatha dukhi hyalabhe priyavastunaha samsaro yammaya praptaha mithyadhyasa purassaraha. If I move towards something because I like it, and if I get it, labhe, if I get that, if I attain that, I become, first the sukha was in that object. Sukha was in the object of my desire. When that object of desire comes to me slowly, when I eat a chocolate, the chocolate goes into me, right? The chocolate goes into me along with the thought of joy that I gave on the chocolate. In the same way, any object, any person, any situation I go after, and I obtain that object, person, and situation, they become one with me, then I become sukhi. If they are not one with me, meaning if they are not available, if I don't get it, if I don't attain it, then I become dukhi. Priyavastunaha. Priyavastu, here only Priyavastu is being mentioned. It is not being spoken about dvesha. Dvesha is like hatred and going away. We know all the problems because of that. We don't need to make any special mention about that. But here special mention is being made only to raga because we don't know that it gives us sorrow. In dvesha, suppose karela is bitter, it already gives us sorrow. So we won't really go behind it. We won't get attached to it. In fact, many situations where you get dvesha, for example, if you get some disorder, disease, or whatever, we don't want that, right? So we will not get attached to that. That is the only advantage of having all these problems. But there are many ways of living life free of all these problems. Samsara, this is labhe sukhi. So here the special mention is only meant about priya vastunaha. Priya, what is priya? Priya means something I think about, it gives me joy. That's priya vastu. And the next level of priya is moda. The object that I think about, the person that I think about, or the situation that I think about is coming to me. Almost it has come. It has come to my doorstep. That's called moda. Pramoda is that object and me have become one. That is called pramoda. Pramoda means prakarshena modaha. Moda means joy. That object which I like has come to me. That is why Vigneshwara has got a modakam in his hand, because he removes obstacles and thereby he brings the objects of our desire close to us. And that is why it is called modakam, or that sweet dish that we all make during Vinayaka Chaturthi. That's called modakam, means that which gives you joy. Labhe sukhi tatha dukhi hi alabhe. If I don't get it, I am sorrowful. If I get it, I am joyful. This is called what? Samsaraha ayam maya praptaha. This is called samsara. Samsara means constant waves of sukha, dukkha, shoka, moha, then bhaya, raga, dvesha, all the dualities, day and night is samsara. Then good and bad is samsara. Joy and sorrow is samsara. Life and death is samsara. Praise and censure is samsara. Sukha, dukkha, mana, apamana, shita, ushna, heat and cold is samsara. We get this situation because there is a requirement for that situation inside us. There is a need for that situation inside us. What is the need for that situation? I don't have the right knowledge. I don't have the understanding. Because I don't have the understanding, my mind is not quiet. My mind is not settled. My mind is hankering after something. So this is called samsara. I attained that. Samsaroyam maya praptaha. Mithya adhyasa. Mithya adhyasa means false belief, false erroneous perception. Purasaraha. I put that mithya adhyasa. Mithya adhyasa in common terms is when you go to the beach during daytime, the sun is shining, there are many shells in the beach. You look at the shells and you think it is silver. And you just don't think it is silver, it is also affecting our actions. We think that it is silver and we go towards it and try to collect it thinking it is very precious. So when we go nearby, when our shadow touches that shell, then you know it is only a shell, it is not silver. Till that time in the sunlight, it was shining bright as silver. That is one mithya adhyasa. These are all mentioned in the in the Upanishads. The second mithya adhyasa is the nighttime example. This is a daytime example. The nighttime example is there is a dark path, there is a rope or a pipeline in the garden or a crack on the ground. The pipeline is a sattva guna. Sattva guna object. The the pipeline, no, crack in the ground. A rope is a sattva guna object. A pipeline in the dark is a rajoguna object. And a tamoguna object is a crack in the ground. So all these three objects, whether it's a sattva guna, whether it is very clearly visible, or whether it is a rajoguna object, it is not clearly visible. In the dark, there is a pipe there, it's not clearly visible. Or there is a crack in the ground, that's also not clearly visible. It is totally not visible at all. But we look into that and our mind falls on that. Our thought is falling on that crack. Our thought is falling, our perception is falling on the pipe in the darkness. And our perception is falling on the first thing, what did I tell? Rope. Our perception is falling on the rope. And somewhat daytime when the rope is, it is clear, you can see it as a rope. So there is no problem with sattva guna. With sattva guna, it is like, it is almost equal to our mind, the pure state of mind. So it does not really give any trouble. It gives knowledge. And so we don't have any problems with that. We are able to see very clearly. With rajoguna or disturbed state of mind, shaky state of mind, we have a problem because we understand that rope in the night time to be a snake. And then we create a lot of trouble for ourselves. We create a lot of trouble for others. And so much of fear, so much of being upset, or so much of, beating ourselves up has already happened until somebody comes and shines a torch and says, hey, this is just a pipeline. What are you afraid of? And only then we become very calm. So that is rajoguna perception. Tamoguna is that the crevice is already there. The mind just goes there and fills up the darkness. It does not move. It fills up the darkness and you're experiencing as if there is some great, some thin worm or something is going there and you get scared. So this is called mithya adhyasa. Mithya means it is like temporary. For example, with the cloud and the sky is satya, means always you can see the sky. When you look up into the sky, the blue color sky is always there. It is either blue in color or it is black in color or purple in color or orange in color or pinkish in color or blue and pink and green in color, whatever it is. The sky is there. Only the clouds are coming and going. So the cloud is mithya and the sky is satya in that context. The sky is also not Satya in the ultimate context, because when we sleep, we cannot see the sky. So samsaraha ayam maya praptaha mithya adhyasa purasaraha. Mithya adhyasa means false superimposition. This adhyasa only is our problem. Adhyasa means an object is there. See, there is a positive adhyasa also, which is called upasana. Upasana is like, for example, there is a lamp burning. You superimpose divinity on the lamp and worship the lamp. There is a sandalwood sculpture. You superimpose Bhagwan Shri Krishna and Arjuna and worship that. There is a cloth flag. You superimpose devotion for the nation and you worship it and salute it as a national flag. So that is superimposition is there. It is a collective. So even the sky is a superimposition only, but it is a collective superimposition by everybody. Everybody, when we look up, we see the sky. The sky is actually not there in the form we see, because we already know that when we go by flight, there is no sky. The sky is always far away from us. That sky which was appearing to us as sky from the ground, when we go in the flight, that place, we go even beyond that point, we are still not able to see the sky around us, because the sky is actually not there. It is only appearing to be there. But it is a collective superimposition. Another example of collective superimposition can be our the state borders, state boundaries between the country. In the country, there is no actual boundary that is there on the earth. There is no nautical miles on the ocean. There is no boundary for the nautical miles. But still, in the map, we draw these nautical miles for the ocean. We draw the airline space, airspace area in our maps, aeronautical maps, and then we draw the boundaries of different states and different cities and different panchayats and different gram panchayat, town panchayat, panchayat union. So many differences are there. We draw all those boundaries, and then we work respecting those boundaries. So that is a collective adhyasa. But here the adhyasa that we are talking about is an individual adhyasa, which gives us trouble. It does not allow us to be calm. That is when you walk on the night. Actually, once it has happened to me. When we are studying in the Vedanta course, constantly we are studying snake and rope, morning snake and rope, evening snake. That example will come. And so it is so much there in our mind that early morning, 5 o'clock, I'm trying to pick flowers from the ashram garden for puja. And suddenly, this has happened to me 2 times, because that energy inside us is shimmering and shaking all the time. The energy that is there behind the eyes, through which we are able to see everything, that is not steady. That is just moving. It is like, because blood is flowing, heart is beating, so many activities are happening inside, so that the whole system is shaky, gently shaky, mildly shaky. When we see through that, especially in the morning times, when you go to sleep deeply and when your eyes are still groggy and you look out, you can see so many patterns outside. Those patterns are not there outside. It is the shakiness that is experienced within the eyeballs that we are superimposing on the wall outside. And then suddenly you just close your eyes. This has happened to, it might have happened to you sometimes. Even if it happens, we don't notice it. We just, when we get up, we are not so much aware. So we just try to separate our eyes, get up, wash our face, and go about our daily routine. Sometimes if you get the opportunity to, when you go to sleep deeply and suddenly you wake up and you look at a wall, you will be able to see some patterns on the wall for some time. It's called persistence of vision. That is how the whole cinema industry, the whole cinema theater concept itself is working on this persistence of vision. For example, I see this light for a long time, then I look outside somewhere else, I can see that light being projected there. This all as children we've been playing all these games. We know that when you see something bright for some time and then tightly close your eyes and then open it somewhere, you can see the window, or you can see some object floating. So that is called mithya adhyasa. The object is not mithya, but the thought and the belief that we ascribe. For example, I look through a window which is very bright outside. I look through the window, then I close my eyes and I can see the window projected and floating in front of me. I'm telling, if I'm saying window is floating, then it is mithya adhyasa, because it's not window. It is just a mild perception, a thought is just floating away from my presence. It is not, the real window is there. What is floating is only the thought. So this is what is mithya means. It is temporary, but we think that it is permanent and we talk about it as real. That is how all the blabbering also comes. Sometimes people will see some image in their mind, they will get scared and they will talk about it. And how much ever you try to convince them, they won't get convinced because they believe that it is real. Now, what is the means by which you can come over all these impurities of mind? Upayastu pura proktaha naradena yudhishtiram chitta dosha nivrityartham shreyase cha smaramitam. Upayaha tu pura proktaha. Narada spoke to Yudhishthira. In the Mahabharata, Bhagavatam, the story is there. Devarshi Narada talks to Yudhishthira. And he gives these methods by which we can conquer. These are very beautiful methods. People spend lakhs and lakhs of rupees studying about how to purify the mind, how to quieten the mind. They attend programs and webinars and workshops and pay a lot of money to go through this. But here in very, very simple shlokas, very few, 6 or 7 shlokas, Narada has conveyed to us what are all the ways by which we can purify the mind, we can quieten the mind. Chitta dosha nivrityartham. What are these means? Chitta dosha nivritti. It is a chitta. What is chitta? Takaro vai vishayaha. Ta, that letter ta, it refers to object. Chit is consciousness. Consciousness means light of awareness and then object. If light of awareness only is there, only awareness is there, there's no chitta. There's only chit. But when an object comes, when a thought comes, when a feeling comes, when an emotion comes, it becomes chitta. Chitta dosha. Chitta means thought. Dosha means that thought is giving me some trouble. That thought is taking me away from reality. Klishta. Chitta dosha nivrityartham. Shreyase cha smaramitam. For your own welfare, for your own well-being, for our own well-being, for our own welfare, and for our own benefits, for our own supreme benefit, I will remember that. So we will go into verse, we'll complete a few verses because the last 2 days have been full of problems in the recording. Now everything is going on well, so we will complete as much as we can. Verse 19. Asankalpat jayet kamaha krodham kama vivarjanat arthanarthe kshaya lobham bhayam tatvavamarsanat. Asankalpat. Sankalpa means I have a clear thought. For example, I love ice cream. That's a sankalpa in my mind. I love coffee. I love tea. I love fragrance. I love eau de cologne. I love the fragrance of eau de cologne. We may not really like it, but that thought is so strong in us, it becomes a sankalpa. So when the sankalpa is there, that I love coffee, sankalpa is there, the the heart is beating, the mind will beat along with the heart. I love coffee, I love coffee, I love coffee, I love coffee. It keeps singing. And that's how raga develops. You get the desire to drink coffee because of that. So, asankalpa jayat kamaha, just to remove the thought. How do I remove the thought? That is why all these processes are all there. Many, many processes are there. Sometimes, very soon I will be launching webinar classes on Zoom, Zoom platform, where you will, one text will be taken. It will be more like a workshop, like a 3-hour workshop where we will study one text. And then we will go on to 3 days of workshops continuously. It's going to be very interesting. It's going to be a lot of fun. So please stay tuned with what is happening. I will post the details here, but you have to join that separately. It is not available on YouTube platform. So, asankalpat jayet kama here, but even this is enough. If you really want to follow something in your life, you can take these verses and understand the meaning, and then apply it and follow. You will be able to achieve what you want to do. Asankalpat jayet kamam. I have a desire filled thought. The thought has got a lot of energy in it because it has been there for a long time and I've been paying attention to it. The thought has become very strong. Now, how do I remove that thought? For example, the coffee thought is very strong in me. How do I remove that thought? That is where Pujya Guruji, he writes very beautifully. If you want to remove something that is not okay with you, you don't want it, you don't want that belief, you don't want that perception, first what we should do, we should not just, we should not just wish it away. You cannot wish it away. You cannot wing it away. You cannot wing away that thought. At first, you should accept that yes, that thought is there. Where is this? The 4 points, very beautiful points. You accept that the thought is there first of all. Be intensely conscious of the impurities of mind. How will the impurity of mind, whether it's a desire, whether it's fear or anything, be intensely conscious of the impurities of mind. See the implications of the consequences of them. That is, if I have this desire, 1 week down the line, what will I be doing? Because every desire prompts us into action. 1 week down the line, what will I do? 1 month down the line, what will I do? 1 year down the line, what will I do? 3 years down the line, what will I do? And 10 years, 15 years down the line, what will I do? When you give that big picture to the mind will be shocked. For example, if I'm having a really very bad habit and you just draw this chart, you plot this chart, repeatedly think about it, the mind will be in a state of shock because it cannot take the consequences of this action and it will mend its ways automatically. The third is understand them in their totality. Totality means the whole universe is there, the whole world is there. In that whole world, there are these 5 elements are the earth, water, fire, air, and space, are all in their complete nature. And in me, the 5 elements are all mixed and they're all present inside me. So that is the contemplation. And then, where am I? I am living in this body as a thought, and in the thought, these are the patterns, these are the desires that are all agitating inside the thought. This is the totality. When I get to see that, then the desire that I have is like it has got no presence at all. There is such a not even a microscopic existence it has. So understand these impurities in its totality. And but one thing very important: do not justify or glorify these impurities. We actually glorify our habits, unwanted habits. You know what? I drink, I smoke, I drink coffee. I have all these habits. We proudly talk to others. If we proudly talk to others, those habits will be strengthened. The more attention we pay to something, the more we appreciate something, that thing grows in our life. So if we don't want something to grow, we have to practice upeksha. Upeksha is withdrawing my attention from that, not glorifying it, not justifying it and saying, it's okay, everybody smokes, so what? Everybody drinks, so what? Everybody eats a lot of sugary stuff, so what? That's all justification for me to do. So when we asankalpa, so how do I remove the sankalpa? Asankalpa, remove the fanciful thinking. So take up a belief. For example, there is this lady, very beautiful. The 4 questions. 4 questions. I'm not Byron Katie. Byron Katie has come up with 4 questions. Very, very beautiful. It's all available on the internet also. You can search for Byron Katie and 4 questions. So anything, any thought is there. You isolate everything else. You take out that thought only. You ask, for example, the thought of coffee. I love coffee. The thought is like that. Then you ask, is it true? Then the answer can be, yeah, it is true. Because for nearly 40 years now, I've been drinking coffee daily. So I really love coffee. How will I drink something which I don't love? So I love coffee. It is true. Is it the absolute truth? Were you born drinking coffee? Or did you drink coffee as a small baby? As a minuscule baby in your mother's hands, did you drink coffee? Or did you drink coffee when you were 6 months old, 2 years old, 4 years old, 6 years old, 8 years old, and 10 years old? Until then, did you drink coffee? We were only drinking Bonvita or Horlicks or milk or kanji, ragi kanji, and all that. We were not drinking coffee. So it is not true that it is not the whole truth that I love coffee. You existed without coffee even before you started taking coffee. So it is not the whole truth. And then, what is this thought making you do? If I have this thought, I love coffee, what does it make you do? It makes me go after coffee. It makes me drink coffee. How many ever time it comes to me? The thought makes me do something which is not good for me in the ultimate sense later on after some time. It is making me do something. So what does it do to you? Do you like that? And who are you without that thought? If that thought of I love coffee is not there, who am I? I get up in the morning. Maybe one day I can have a glass of hot water. One day I can have a glass of haldi, lemon, and what else? Honey. I can have. And one day I can have milk, warm milk. One day I can have hot milk. One day I can have something else also. Some ragi kanji also I can have. So many things I can have, so many opportunities. I can simply have some herbal tea one day. So many possibilities are there. But because I am locked with this coffee, every day compulsorily I have to take this coffee. So who are you without this thought? Who am I without this thought? I am a free person without this thought. So that's the understanding. When we work out every desire in this manner, this is what is called asankalpa. Asankalpa means removing that belief. And removing alone is not enough. If you don't take action, if you suppose you say, I love coffee, you have worked on it all these ways and you have removed that belief. If you don't do anything else to counter that belief, then this I love coffee will come and sit. For 2 hours, it will be away from you. Then the thought will come and sit inside you because the thought is serving some purpose inside you. The thought is giving you some scope of happiness. The thought is giving you some comfort. The thought of I love coffee is giving us some comfort, some happiness, some joy it is giving. So if we don't replace it with something else, that same thought will come and sit back into us. So asankalpa, if I want to conquer kama, if I want to conquer desire, whether it's desire for an object, desire for a person, or desire for a situation, if I want to conquer it, asankalpa is the way. I should just remove that sankalpa or that dridha nishchaya. For example, that steady thought inside about one particular thing. Jayet kamam. If kama is gone, if desire is gone, what goes automatically? Krodha, krodham kama vivarjanat. If desire is gone, krodha is also gone. So, what is the relationship between kama and krodha? In the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, the ladder of fall is given. Dhyayato vishayan pumsaha. Vishaya means one thought we can take. Okay, we take a thought. We are constantly contemplating on that thought. We are paying our attention to that thought. Dhyayato vishayan pumsaha. So this is me and this is the thought. And I am united with that thought, connected with that thought, and I'm going on and on and on and on thinking about that thought. Dhyayato vishayan pumsaha. What is happening? Sangasteshu upajayate. This I merges into the third thought merges into me, and both of us become one. Sangasteshu upajayate. Then in this place, sangat, sanjayate kamaha. What is kama? This is I and this is a thought. When these two have become one, from inside one kind of an energy is born. It fills up this thought. And the more and more this unity of the thought and the object is happening, more and more this energy grows inside and it gets very, very strong. So that energy is called kama. Once that energy has risen up, this you cannot separate this person and the thought because the energy is now like a glue. It is like a gum holding the individual and holding that thought together. Sangata sanjayate kamaha. Kama is grown. Then what happens? When kama is there, krodhaha abhijaya. See, this is the thought and this is I. This I and the thought are merged together. So the I is there, my goal, my desire is there. They are merged together. And over the years, they have been merged, and so a very solid fevistick or fevicol or some gum, some very sticky substance called kama is formed inside, and it sees to it that it is glued together. And when some person comes, that person sees that I'm constantly enjoying this, he is not happy, he wants to separate me from that object. He pulls me out, he pulls the object out, and he separates me from the object. What happens? Kama, this glue is there, this glue turns into krodha. This person is left, the desire is left now. We take our anger on that person who's trying to separate us, or the situation that's trying to separate us, or the object that's trying to separate us. In the metro rails these days, they give an announcement saying you putting a towel or a paper or a bag or an umbrella or a torchlight or a slipper between the two doors when they're trying to close is a punishable offense. So this the third party is always the object of our anger. So the karma is directed towards that person as anger. Kama krodho bijayate. When krodha comes, when this person is getting angry, the anger that is arising in us first destroys us, and only then a little bit impact only it makes on the other person. The other person does not have any problem with that. Buddha said, anger is like taking poison and expecting the other person to die. It will never happen. Krodha bhavati sam mohaha. Because I have krodha, because I have anger, some moha means complete delusion. What is delusion? I am this body is the delusory state of mind. So I become concrete. The wave action of the mind becomes concrete and settles as the body. I am the body. So, krodhat bhavati sammohaha. Then what happens when I'm saying I am the body? Sammohat smriti vibhramaha. Because of this delusion, my memories are all very confused. My memories are not very clear and very, very foggy memories I have. I'm not able to take any decisive action because my thought process is not clear. Smriti Bramshat, what happens? Smriti Bramshat, Buddhi Nashaha. Buddhi means that awareness, the consciousness which is experiencing every thought, which is going through every thought and shining its light through every thought, which is covering every thought, which is present everywhere. That consciousness will not, be very clear. The consciousness will get destroyed. Buddhi Nashaha. And then what happens if my consciousness is gone? What is left now? Buddhi nashat pranashyati. Pranashyati is completely, it gets destroyed. Buddhi nashat pranashyati. So this is the ladder of fall. Here asankalpa jayet kamam, krodham kama vivarjitam. Krodha means anger will go away if there is no, because desire is only causing anger. If desire is not there, anger is going to go away. How will you easily remove desire? Not by separating the person and the object of desire, not by willfully, forcefully taking it or removing it or hiding it or throwing it away. Not possible. That individual person has to remove that sankalpa from in the mind. Sankalpa means a very firm thought. And so there is a very nice song in Tamil. திருடனா பார்த்து திருந்தாவிட்டால் திருட்டை ஒழிக்க முடியாது. If the thief does not change by himself, then the thieving habit cannot be changed. So the person, if they don't give up this desire by themselves from within, nobody else can help them to give up their desires. And how will lobham, when kama is there, what is kama? Kama is desire. And when desire is, there is no obstacle to the desire, then what happens? Artha anartha ikshaya. If there's no object to obstruct my desire, it turns into moha, lobha. Lobha means I'm greedy for more and more of it. I have one chocolate, not enough. 2 chocolates, 3 chocolates, 10 chocolates. 20 chocolates, you know. So, artha, anartha. Artha means what is life, what is reality, what is not the real. Adi Shankaracharya sings in the Bhaja Govindam, very beautiful. Artham. Artha means also wealth. Artha means purpose. Artha means goal. Artha means meaning. Artham. Artha means the right meaning and meaninglessness, purposelessness. Bhavaya nityam. Bhavaya means contemplate on it. Nityam. Nasti tata sukha lesha satyam. Beyond this contemplation of what is real and what is not real, lesha satyam. Even little bit also there is no joy in this world. Lesha satyam. Why? Putradapi dhana bhajam bhitihi. Even from the son or even from the daughter, son includes daughter, even from the children, the parent can have fear from protecting his wealth. No, he will not be able to protect his wealth even from children. So, putradapi dhanabhajam bhitihi. Somebody is asking this question, what is your thought on Acharya Prashant? It's a good question. He's a speaker on Vedanta, a very good source for, listening and contemplating on Vedantic subjects. We will come back to the topic. Artha, anartha, ikshaya, lobham. Lobham is greed. It is formed by constantly contemplating on what is the truth and what is not the truth. Bhayam, fear also is an impurity of mind. How will fear go? Tattva amarshanat. When I am concentrating on the essence of everything, the essence of earth, the essence of water. So when I'm concentrating on the essence of the Prithvi Tattva, which is the smell, anything that happens because of the earth will not give me scare, because I know that the essence of the earth is only smell. It does not have any other reality to it except that, so that smell of the earth. That's a Prithvi Tattva. If I contemplate on the essence of water as taste, which is there inside me, I will not be afraid of water outside. If I contemplate on the essence of fire as a form that I have, that's the essence of fire. Essence of fire is form, light and heat. If I contemplate on that, I know there is heat in the body, I know there is form for this body, then I am not afraid of fire outside. Then if I contemplate on the essence of fire as the feeling of perception on me, the wind and the gale will not affect me, because what actually matters, what is the essence of that air is this experience of touch which I feel. That much only the meaning is there to it. If I contemplate on the essence of space as sound, then I will not be bothered about real estate. I will not be bothered about gathering a lot of things in my space. I will just focus on what am I listening to, what am I hearing, what is falling on my ears, what is coming out of my mouth in the form of words. I will just concentrate on these sounds and my life will be sorted out. There will be no fear. Like even Swami Shivananda Ji Maharaj, he says, why are you afraid of somebody talking wrongly of you? Sometimes they may say a buffalo or they may say a fool. When you know you are not that, it is only some letters coming out of that person's mouth. Buffalo, buffalo, fool, fool. You just separate all those letters. You take the F alone, you take the O away, you take the other O also away, and you throw it out. You throw the L, there's nothing else there. So we are not, when we take our mind off the essence, we get locked into that sound, that thought or whatever it is. Artha anartha ikshaya lobham bhayam tattva amarshanat. So the fear will go. Even the boss is shouting at you. If you just listen to that, when you're listening to the sound, your ear is actually experiencing the air elements. There is a sensation in the ear. And the sound is actually the sound element only in space. That sound element from the boss's ear is traveling through your tympanic membrane. The sound waves are traveling inside. They're only waves. The waves can be this, the waves can be flat, the waves can be high, the waves can be low. We can create our own waves also. whatever it is, that is it requires a lot of practice to change our environment into the way we would love it to be. So that is tattva. So there is no need to fear. We can calmly work out that situation. That's what it means. And when there is no fear, when there is no greed, when there is no anger, when there is no desire, we are a very, very wonderful personality. We are not the same person who is functioning with desire, lust, anger, hatred, greed, fear, and all the other qualities that are going to be described in the next few verses. We'll see that tomorrow. Om Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu, Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu, सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्. ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय, तमसोर्मा ज्योतिर्गमय, मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय. ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते, पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ओम शांति शांति शांति. हरि ओम. श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. हरि ओम. बोलिए श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय. हर हर नमः पार्वती पतये. हर हर महादेव. हरि ओम. Thank you. We will meet again tomorrow.